Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Hey, remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not. And I want to impress upon you that due to financial difficulties, we could really do with about $150. So if I can stress that to you right now, that would be great. You know, a few people giving 10 bucks, 6 people giving 25 bucks each. That would be fantastic. And what I wanted to talk about, I told you in my last video that I had something I was saving for this video because I wanted to make sure it was all good. And here it is. I've been going back through all my books and watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I've reformatted all of them. I have finally learned how to make full wrap book covers on Canva. That took a few YouTube videos and a lot of effort. And so now, and I've been slowly going through all my books and making them available on Amazon in paperback form. So yes, right now you can get 4 of my books. You can get them directly through me, of course, if you want the EPUB or PDF. But if you want it on Amazon, there's ebooks available. There are also paperbacks now for 4 of them. You can get the physical copy. And of course, if you have Kindle Unlimited subscription, you can read them for free. And I have links down below for my Amazon author page where you can check all those out. And of course, where you can buy them directly if that's your preference. And I'm very excited because, you know, you might think, oh, what can be so hard about that? And say, well, when I went to do my first paperback, I didn't realize, you know, at first you have to pick the size of your paperback. There's different sizes. So what size do you want? And then you have to format your interior, your manuscript, to fit that trim size. And then the full wrap book cover, you have to download a template, go to Canva, put your design on there, and then you have to make all these minuscule, really small adjustments. You can't go outside the lines here. Your text on the front or back cover has got to be in a certain place so it don't overlap when they make the paperback. And it's just, and if you don't get it right, Amazon sends you an email and goes, hey, there's an error here with your book cover. You're gonna have to fix that before you can make it a paperback. And then you got to go in and make all those adjustments again. You know, it's pretty hours. It took me hours and hours, but I finally did it. So there are 4 of them available right now on paperback, so check those out. All right, so you want to get married as a foreigner to a local here in Cambodia? Now, I know a lot of you are probably saying, no, I don't really want to do that. I have no plans on doing that. And I hear you. I'm down with that. But here's the thing, like, you never know what life's going to throw at you. You never know. You might come over here and meet someone. They could wind up being the love of your life. Or your worst nightmare. Or whatever. But the thing is, you're like, yeah, I want to keep this one around for a while. So I better make her an honest woman, you know. And that's what I want to talk about today, because there is some misinformation, and well, really, it's old information that's being presented as still in effect, which it's not. So I wanted to just make sure that you guys knew the rules. And here's the thing: it's not easy. There are hoops to jump through if you're a foreigner wanting to marry a local, and different requirements. It's not like, you know, Cambodia is not like Las Vegas, where you go on a bender for a weekend, you meet some girl in a bar, and you wake up married with a couple of stepkids, and the rest of your life is ruined. It's not that easy. There are rules here you have to follow. And none of them involve copious amounts of Jägermeister, because, ew, not a fan of Jägermeister, you know. Never have been. Even the smell. You know, somebody opens up a bottle of Jaeger in the room, and it's got that smell of like really strong licorice and frat boy sexual assault in an alley kind of smell, you know. It's like, yeah. People said, hey, you know what goes good with a Jägermeister is a mixer. You got to have a mixer because that goes good with the Jägermeister. And I'm like, no, you know what goes good with the Jägermeister? Bail money. That's what goes good with Jägermeister. But you know, credit where credit is due. I have to give Jaeger some credit. They do their part to keep the economy going, right? There's a lot of businesses, thanks to Jaeger, that still operate, you know, paternity testing places, right? Bail bondsmen, Jaeger keeps them in business. Abortion clinics, yes. So, you know, thank God for Jägermeister, because they do more for the economy than our government does. But anyway, all right, sorry for that interruption, but let's talk about some of these requirements. These are some of the things you need and some of the things you'll have to do if at any time you're going to get married to a local here in Cambodia as a foreigner. First of all, the misinformation. A lot of people still say you cannot, if you're a man, you cannot be over the age of 50 and still get married. It's 50 or under to marry a local here. And that was the case for a very, very long time, even when I first got here, but that has changed. There is no requirement now for that. There's no age restrictions for that. You have to be at least 18, of course, but if you're over 50, that's fine. But I recently read an article from just like 2 months ago where on Quora, or maybe it was Reddit, and someone was asking about the marriage thing here in Cambodia, and somebody said, oh, you're too old for that because you're over 50. And I'm like, no, he's just giving old information and turning it into misinformation because maybe nobody knew about that change. But yeah, there's no age requirement now. However, if you're a man, if you're a foreign man marrying a local woman, you do have to have verifiable proof that you have income of at least $2,500 per month coming in. Okay, that's one requirement. You also have to have proof. You have to have a police clearance from your country stating that your record is clean. You're not wanted. You're not a wanted man. You haven't been to prison 7 times for whatever. You know, you got to have a clean police record, bill of health there.
Hello.
And you also need certification that you can legally marry, that you're not already married from the country you came from. And you will need to go to your embassy in Phnom Penh to get those various documents and to have them verified for you. And that could take a while. And you got to do that before the ceremony. So if you already had one set, better get that done, you know, because you do have to have that done before you can actually get hitched over here. And you know, it's the government, so of course it's not going to be fast nor efficient, so plan on that. And then all that you and your potential spouse have to submit that to the Ministry of Interior here, all that information. And your potential spouse will also need some information. They'll need some verification, paperwork, and things about themselves. And once it goes through there, they pass it on to another government agency that will actually approve all the application if everything's in order. And if all that goes through, then and only then can you proceed to make what could be the best or worst decision of your life. Put it that way. Because I'm not judging, I'm just saying. You never know how that's going to turn out. So those are the requirements you need as a foreigner to get married to a local. And here's the thing, it is a lot of hassle, it is a lot of red tape. It is going to take a long time because you have to do things through not one government, you know, just yours, but also through the local government. And that can be harrowing to think about. But it's also for all of you people out there who say, well, you know, I don't really want to get married, and but what if I get a girlfriend and she starts pressuring me and she wants to get married? And I will tell you this, first of all, if you're making $2,500 a month or over, do not tell her that, because you can use that as an excuse. Like, oh baby, I'd marry you in a heartbeat. You know you're the love of my life, but I only make $1,200 a month, and well, your country's laws, you know, I wish it wasn't so, but it's true, my dear. Yeah. And then you don't look like an asshole. And and there's nothing she can do about it, you know. Because it's like, the law's the law, and you don't pass the muster for the law, so there you go. Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. Just for all of you Lotharios who want to come over here and play the field like you're on a cricket court. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get tied down. So there's your out if you start getting pressured into the marriage talk. But anyway, those are the requirements as of, you know, 2025. Of course, if any of those change, I will always let you know, because that's kind of what I do. So I hope you enjoyed that. Got some information. And be sure to check out all my links down below. Like I said, I have PayPal, I have Ko-fi.com. You can purchase my books at a number of places. You can go to Amazon or my Ko-fi shop page. Find them all there. And check out all the links from the other channels down below. They're very good. Lots and lots of great information. Information I think you need, you love, and you'll be glad you did. And from Siem Reap, Cambodia, down here by the old market, because I do have people asking my videos, hey, where were you at in this video? So I'm down here at the Sacha, or the old market downtown. I will talk to you guys in the next one.